He fits the description, the cop snapped, fingers tightening on his radio. Dark hoodie, nervous eyes, loitering alone. What more do you need? The teen said nothing, just stood there, backpack slung over one shoulder, dignity intact. Then the mall's double doors opened and the governor stepped through. When you're black and quiet, they call it suspicious. When you're black and loud, they call it a threat. Saturday, 3:12 p.m. Sunset Point Galleria, Los Angeles. Teenagers ping-ponged between the food court and the arcade. Holiday music floated early over the speakers, the air a braid of pretzels, perfume, and unease. Caleb Morris, 15, brown skin like warm cedar, slight build, alert eyes, sat alone at a corner table near Panda Express. Black hoodie, charcoal jeans, scuffed white sneakers, a thin backpack at his feet. He wasn't cramming for class. He was rehearsing lines for the State Youth Policy Summit. 3 rounds down, 1 presentation to go. Juvenile justice reform isn't charity, he whispered, flipping a flashcard. It's repair. The shadow fell across his tray. Excuse me, son. White male, mid-40s, stocky. Officer Cole Riker, Real County deputy on special assignment to the mall task force. Oakley's parked on his head, badge clipped like permission. ID. ID? Caleb blinked. You've been here over an hour. That's loitering. I bought food, Caleb said quietly, nodding at the tray, napkins, half-eaten orange chicken. What's in the bag? Books, school stuff. Stand up. Why? You fit a description. There it was. The oldest script in a shiny new setting. Caleb stood slowly. Riker's hand landed on his shoulder. Soft pressure. Final message. Across the concourse, inside a cafe window, someone was already filming. Sophia Marin, 28, law clinic intern, Latina, former mall worker who knew exactly how this kind of policy played out. Her phone camera found the angle and held it. Riker walked Caleb through the food court like property being moved. Heads turned, carts slowed, a mother pulled her toddler close. The kiosk clerk palmed her phone. Where are your parents? Riker barked. I'm here alone. Of course you are. Caleb stopped. Voice careful, steady. I'm not going anywhere unless you say why I'm being detained. You want to play that game, smart guy? I'm not playing. I know my rights. Riker lifted the radio. Unit 22, possible non-compliance, blackmail, late teens, no ID, potential threat.
Caleb exhaled through his nose. This is how it always starts. Another deputy turned the corner. They pivoted Caleb toward the security office. A voice cut through the concourse from the upstairs balcony, clear, commanding, impossible to misplace. Let the boy go! Every head snapped up. Governor Simone Hart, California's first black woman governor, stood at the glass rail, charcoal blazer catching the light like armor. 1 aide, 2 plainclothes protectors, a whole building holding its breath. Riker didn't drop his grip. Ma'am, we may have a situation involving— You're damn right you do, Harp said, already descending. You have 15 seconds to remove your hand from that boy. Caleb's chest rose and fell, disbelief, not panic. A minute ago he didn't know her face up close. Now the governor knew his. Ma'am, I was responding to a suspicious— Did he threaten anyone? No. Break a law? No. Then what exactly did you detain him for? Silence thickened. Sophia, still filming, whispered through the concourse from the upstairs balcony. This is going viral. By the time Hart reached the floor, her detail had formed a circle. Too late to stop her. She stepped through, right to Caleb. Are you okay? Yes, ma'am. Release him, she told Riker. He stepped back. Yes, Governor. Caleb adjusted his backpack. Thank you. Hart studied him. You're Caleb Morris, right? His eyes widened. How do you— I read your brief on juvenile justice, she said, a small smile. You present next week. I'm the keynote. Riker cleared his throat. Governor, if I may, save it for internal affairs, she said without looking, and nodded to her aide. Badge number, now. Photo snapped, names archived. No one expected what came next. Hart pulled Caleb into a quick, solid hug. A collective exhale. Scattered applause. Sophia's camera trembled. Her eyes didn't. Then Hart's phone buzzed. A message from the Chief of State Police. Caution. Subject flagged in DHS Youth Watch. No details, no context, only stain. She looked at Caleb again. 15, polite, bright, a backpack full of note cards. This didn't add up. "Ma'am," she asked softly, "is something wrong?" Hart pocketed the screen. "Walk with me." The crowd split like water. Cameras trailed, whispers rising. One of Hart's agents, Micah, leaned in. "Do we remove him?" "From what?" she said. "Existing?" Riker stood alone with his choices. Mall security had pulled body cam. 2 shoppers had filed complaints. Sophia's clip had crossed 100,000 views in under 10 minutes. He opened his phone, texted Lieutenant Adam Klein, Homeland Task Group. Morris flagged under Youth Watch. Governor hugged him. "Fix this." In a quiet lounge near the parking deck, Hart faced Caleb. "Ever been in trouble?" "No, ma'am." "Involved in protests, online activism?" "I joined a student forum last year. We wrote essays. That's it." "That's enough," she murmured. She turned to her aide. "Pull the Youth Watch list. Cross-check Safe Schools Initiative." "That database is sealed, not to me."
Across town, Lieutenant Klein saw the governor's queries and scowled. He'd worked black sites and cyber units, but nothing irritated him like elected eyes on secret lists. He picked up the phone, scrubbed the governor's access, wipe traces, and find who added the flag. Back at the cafe, Sophia's DMs pinged from a burner. He wasn't flagged by mistake. Ask about Operation Cypress. Minutes later, Hart's aide paled. "I'm in. Caleb Morris, flagged as potential disruptor under Operation Cypress. Status, monitor. Source, manual entry." "Who?" Hart asked. He showed the name. Judge Douglas Pennington. When justice gets coded to punish the innocent, judges stop being referees. They become architects. Pennington, in a paneled courthouse library, thumbed a folder. School photos, essays, a clip of Caleb at a student forum. To him, this wasn't about race. It was about control. He made a call. "The governor is interfering with Cyprus. Remind her who wrote her first law school recommendation. If she wants a war, we know where her funding came from." Hart and Caleb slipped out a service elevator. Her motorcade waited. "Want to come to Sacramento?" she asked. "They flagged you a threat. I want them to hear your voice." "I don't know if I'm ready." "You've been ready since your first flashcard," she said. "They need to see the future they're trying to erase." On the way, Hart called Sophia. "Where did Cypress come from?" "A burner. Governor, I think I'm being followed." At the Capitol, staff prepped a statement. Hart stared at an old photo, smiling beside Pennington. "I should have known," she whispered. Then to Caleb, "Let's show them what scares them." He stepped to the podium. A voice from the back. "He shouldn't be here. He's on a federal watch list. We're removing him." 2 men in suits moved. No badges, only certainty. Hart blocked. "You're not touching him." "Ma'am," the taller one said, "active review for digital extremism, emergency clearance." "What did I do?" Caleb asked. "Your speech, your posts, the essay about police defunding." "That's civic argument," Caleb said. "Not in front of the State House. This is containment." Hart clicked the mic live. "To every reporter, unidentified agents are attempting to detain a young man for speaking about policy reform." Gasps. Cameras pivoted. Sophia, watching the stream, texted Hart's aide. "The taller agent works for Axiom Risk Group, private intel, not federal." Hart's phone buzzed. She glanced, smiled without joy. "Contractors," she said into the mic. "Judge Pennington is playing an old game." Rattled, the men retreated. "You still want me to speak?" Caleb asked. "Especially now," Hart said. Across the river, Pennington watched on mute. "Spin it," he told his aide. "Say it was for his safety. And find something on the kid, family, past, anything. I want a headline before dawn." At Sophia's apartment, a black SUV idled. A driver in shades didn't blink. She packed her hard drive and called the number Hart gave her. "I need protection. Now." Inside the Capitol, Hart's comms director winced. Donors are threatening to bail. Too risky, too political. Let them, Hart said. I didn't take this office to keep powerful people comfortable. I took it to protect the ones who have no one to call when a lie becomes law. Live again. Hart at the podium. Earlier today, I intervened in the wrongful detainment of a young man at Sunset Point. Since then, private contractors posing as federal agents attempted to seize him, and now operatives are smearing him with the actions of a relative he hasn't seen since childhood. Let me be clear, Caleb Morris is not a threat. He is the product of the system we are trying to repair. If you want to silence him, you'll have to come through me. Flashes, shouts. That night, Caleb sat on the Capitol steps, starlight faint above city haze. His phone buzzed. No name, no number. They're not done. They found someone who says they taught you everything. Another ping. Check tomorrow's front page. They're calling you the protégé. He looked up, and for the first time, fear edged the fire in his eyes, then steadied into resolve.
If stories like this matter to you, share this one, because silence protects no one. Subscribe to True Crime Files TV and keep watching. Justice deserves witnesses.